Hello fellow travellers, my name is Loki and welcome back to No Man's Sky. Today I want to talk about materials and refining. What materials are important to keep, what you should be looking out for, what you'll need as you progress, these sorts of things. Now, early game, the two most important materials that you're going to need are sodium for your hazard protection and oxygen for life support. You'll also want to be on the lookout for uranium to use that as launch fuel for your ship. Early on, it won't hurt either for you to keep a lookout for copper, which makes chromatic metal and is used in, a number of upgrades and technology. You're going to need it, so keep that in mind. Keep a lookout for copper. Dihydrogen is used. You will need a lot of that much later down the track when you get into freighters. But look, as far as I'm concerned, it's never too soon to start collecting. Now, as you're starting out in the game, you're going to encounter less than friendly environments. And at that point in time, you're starting out, you don't have any of the upgrades that help with damage reduction and survivability. So what do you do when, that lovely AI voice goes, oh, incoming storm, and it flashes up on screen that there's this, weather from hell on its way to you. Now, you could go scurrying back to your ship. It's a legitimate strategy. You won't, you're away from harm there. Or you could scamper off into a nearby cave. Now, caves are not only a great place to get shelter from some of the more extreme weather that you will encounter, but they're a virtual treasure trove of materials. So let's head on over there and see what we can find. One of the first things you're going to come across in caves is this little plant called cave marrow, and if you harvest it, you get marrow bulb. You want to grab as much of that as you can, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so we've got a bit of cave marrow there. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down our trusty refiner. I'm going to have to give it a bit of fuel, so let's do that. And then we put our marrow bulb in, and oh look, it makes sodium. It can be hard when you're on the planet's surface and all you've got is that very basic scan, and you're trying to find, you can see that your hazard protection is running low, and there's not a sodium plant in sight, which is one of the reasons why taking shelter in caves is such a good idea. Now, if we pop over here, now the other thing that you're going to find a lot of in caves, around them and in them, is cobalt. And cobalt is something you will use it, more so ionized cobalt, but you will use cobalt down the track. It's, all these things featuring tech upgrades and whatnot. But cobalt is going to be something that you can turn handy little profit with, without a lot of effort. I have got plans. I'll be doing a video on that very soon, so keep your eye out for it. But while you're lurking around in the caves, you know, don't just bide your time there waiting to get told that, you know, the storm has passed. Take advantage of that time and just grab as much as you can. Alright, I think I've got enough here. I've actually got a very good stock of cobalt. Surprise, surprise. Now, one of the other things that you're going to find in and around caves, special curiosities, I suppose, is the best way to explain them. Now, you'll see here the humming sack, and you'll notice on the HUD compass, it shows as like a Roman numeral 3 orange icon, and that alerts you to the fact that they're there. If you, inside these humming sacks, there should be, oh, that one, there's nothing in that one. Oh, feeling a bit, that was a bit ripped off, but anyway, we'll try another one. Okay. Are you kidding me? 0 for 2. Okay, come on, third time's the charm. Oh, you're... Yeah, thanks, game. Like, you're really helpful. I'm trying to show people what they can get out of... Alright, well, normally, you would get... we'll have to see if we can find some more. I'm not sure how far this cave extends, but normally you would find inside that an item called an albumin pearl. I'm hoping I might find one further down into the cave. Now, the other thing to look out for is stuff called hazardous flora. Most of the time, if it's on the surface, they will give you oxygen. These little bumpies want to give us sodium, and of course, we're not going to say no to having sodium, because it's so incredibly useful to keep us alive. And who doesn't like killing plants? So they're dead. They're gone. Alright, so let's just get down here a bit further. This is a pretty crappy cave. As caves go, let's see. I really want to see if I can find another humming sack thing. But it doesn't look like I'm going to. Yeah, you can die. Lumpy. Look, it looks pus-filled to me. A pus-filled plant. Just, oh, doesn't that bring up pleasant visions? Alright. So, these caves haven't actually proven to be that rewarding at all. That's just cave marrow. If we go up here... Ooh, it looks like it might go somewhere. Okay. Ooh, down into the depths. Okay, let's just, you know, quickly run down here and see what we can see. I'm not getting anything on the HUD to... No, I think this is going to be a dead end. Marvellous. Alright, so hopefully the caves you encounter are much better than the luck I'm having with this one, but cave map, oh, okay. These, remember I was saying earlier about you can get oxygen from these hazardous plants. These ones that look very angry, you can get oxygen for them. These things turn up everywhere, so, you know, just have at it, kill them at will. And I think I've actually gone and gotten myself lost now. Not surprising at all. I'm having a bit of a derp moment. We'll take some more cobalt. Alright, so look, that's pretty much it for caves. When you get on your exo, I think it's on your multi-tool, when you get the analysis visor, you can then scan things like, originally this mineral would just say cobalt, and then it'd have question marks. You can then scan it, and you get that secondary element, which means, you know, you're getting more mats, more bang for your buck, basically. Oh, look, there we go. On the HUD, here are some more humming sacks. And surely these ones can't be empty either. Okay, here we go. Oh, looky, there you go. Right, so this is what you get. You get an albumin pearl. And we'll have a look what it says on the tooltip. It's a gemstone, blah, 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 and it's just a trade item. You don't need it for crafting, you don't need it for anything other than to make some money. So, you know, you see a patch of these and just knock yourself out and collect away. You can trade them in at the nearest space station or trading post. Alright then, you have no doubt come across these as you're out and about planet hopping and exploring. When you get the analysis visor, you can actually hunt these down using the analysis visor, and you'll see that it comes up on the map as this cog, and you can tag it and then just run directly for it, or you know, take your time and just explore a planet and you'll no doubt stumble across them at some time. And when you do, apart from the fact that they give you nanites, you're going to notice that they've generally got some kind of goop on them. And it's rated as junk, and so you're probably going to just throw it away. Don't. You want to keep that stuff, and I'm going to show you why in just a moment. There's another type of junk item that I want to show you, so let's get on with that. Once again, I'm certain you have seen these in your travels. There's damaged containers, and before you can open them, you have to remove the rusted metal. And again, it tells us it's a junk item, and you've probably just tossed it, unless you picked up that it does tell you it's used for refining. But you want to keep that. I mean, you're going to find any number of these in your travels, so pop that into your inventory, and then we'll head on back to base and I'll show you what you can do with some of these. We've been busy gathering materials, we know what we're on the lookout for, and now it's time to start doing a little bit of refining. Before I go to that, I will just mention another material that you want to keep an eye out for, and that is chlorine. If you come across it, pick it up, keep it. It is going to feature in a video that I'm planning to do very shortly, along with cobalt. If you don't find chlorine, but you come around to finding salt, keep that, because you can refine salt into chlorine, and it can turn a nice, tidy little profit. So, as I said, like we've done all our gathering, we've got our trusty portable refiner here, and we're going to start throwing a few things in. Now, you know, as you're picking up from all those containers and you get your rusted metal, shove that into the refiner, and we're going to get ferrite dust for it. I'm not going to let this count down for 2 minutes. I don't think anybody wants to sit through that, so we'll just stop that. So that's why you want to hang on to the rusted metal. I mean, ferrite dust isn't hard to come by, but if you're going to be opening these containers anyway, just grab it. It takes 2 seconds. Well, it doesn't take 2 seconds, obviously. It took 2 minutes. But, you know, it's just grab it. It's free mats, you know, basically. So why wouldn't you? Now, the other one that we're going to get from containers is these various slimy things. And you'll be very happy with the result of what you get for it. It's a bit of a chain, so we'll just say your residual goop, like you can get the goop, the fluids, or the slime, it depends on the container. But, you know, one turns into the other there, so we turn our residual goop into viscous fluids. And then we'll just pop that back in the exosuit, and then the viscous fluids, we put that in. It turns into little slime, which I've got quite a bit of that sitting in my inventory there. And from that, we put the fluids, viscous fluids, back in the exosuit, grab the slime, pop that in there, and then we get runaway mold. I have a couple of times run into being able to just pick up runaway mold, but it's very, very rare. It's generally the only way you'll get it is through this refining. So we've done all this refining, we've done all this material collection, we've done all this refining up to this point, and then when we throw the runaway mold in, it creates nanite clusters. Now, it's not a great ratio, it's 5 to 1, so you're not going to get nanite rich doing this, but again, it's mats that you're going to come across that, you know, just pick them up. Unless you're like really hard up for inventory space, you're opening these things, collect it, chuck it through the refiner, and it's, like I said, basically free mats. Now, one of the other things that I mentioned early on in the game, you're not going to need dihydrogen that much. You'll make here and there you'll make some dihydrogen jelly for different components, and it's not until you get into freighters and freighter fleets that you'll need dihydrogen, as it's a critical ingredient in manufacturing frigate fuel. But there's a handy little trick that you can do with dihydrogen and dihydrogen jelly. If you go to make, you can craft dihydrogen jelly. Let me just find it. There it is. And you can see it takes 40 dihydrogen to craft one. So let's do that. Now, if we go back to our trusty refiner and we throw in, the output in that is 1 to 50. So, look, it's only a difference of 10, but you see how quickly that it refines it. If you're ever caught short that you really need dihydrogen, you can use that method. 40 to craft a jelly, and then the jelly turns into 50. So that's it for today, folks. I hope that this is helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you have questions about, or even a topic for a video, whatever. Let me know, and I will be happy to provide if I can. So until next time, have a great day, stay slinky, and we'll see you soon.